So yeah, like let's get started, guys, without any further ado. Before that, a quick formal introduction on my end. My name is Mohammed Shoaib, and I'm a cybersecurity trainer certified from EC Council. EC Council is the leading organization for cybersecurity domain certifications. Okay, and the demo that we have today is on the first foundational course called Certified Ethical Hacking. Okay, and the version of this course that is running at the moment is version 11, the latest one. Okay. So again, before we get started, this is a common question that I usually ask students, again, to understand their perspective on this topic. So again, guys, don't worry, even if you don't know the answer or if you're not sure about it, still just try to initiate and let's keep the session a bit interactive and fun rather than just keeping it one-sided. So a quick sample question, like, according to you, in your perspective, what do you think hacking is? Anyone? Again, guys, don't worry. I am not asking for any definitive answers or exact to the point answers. Whatever comes to your mind, okay, whatever you think hacking is, please let me know. Anyone?
Try to breaking the system.
Trying to breaking the system. Is that breaking right? I mean, did I get it right? Break into
To
the
access
system?
Yes, try to
to access your personal things like computer, mobile.
Oh, okay. Trying to break into the system
Uh,
or access personal things.
Unauthorized access to the system or a data.
Unauthorized access to the system or data. That's a great answer. Again, all answers are perfectly right. There's nothing wrong with them. Perfectly correct answers. Anything else, guys? Does anyone else want to add anything to it? Right, perfect. No worries, guys. Thank you so much for those answers. Those are exactly right. There is nothing wrong with them. Okay, but if I had to just add upon that hacking, that definition, I would add it as hacking is the procedure of trying to gain access to information systems. Okay, these information systems could be anything. They could be from as small as a mobile phone to as big as a web application server or a database or the cloud organization as well. Okay, and this is done without the permission or without the consent and knowledge of the person owning those systems. Okay, so if those systems belong to a third-party person, that person does not know that someone is trying to gain access to their information or the data. Okay, and this is usually performed by hackers for their own benefit. So once they get access to the systems, they can steal the data, destroy the data, or sell the data as well to other third-party vendors. Okay. Now, depending on this definition, we easily understand that hacking is a malicious job. It is a criminalistic task. If it is such a bad thing to do, why do we have a course called ethical hacking? Is the second question. Because ethical is something which is legal, which is allowed. And how can it stand beside the word hacking, which is completely contradictory? So to define ethical hacking, on the other hand, this is the procedure of trying to find vulnerabilities. Okay, a vulnerability is nothing but a flaw or a loophole in the information system. So usually manufacturers might make mistakes somewhere here or there in the coding of the application. Okay, so that gives rise to something known as weaknesses in the information system, or in technical terms, it is also called as vulnerabilities. Okay, and this vulnerability finding or the process of trying to find these vulnerabilities is done with the consent and permission of the organization. Okay, so this is done in order to report it back to the target, okay, or to the authority, so that they can apply the appropriate patch for it. And once a patch is applied, that vulnerability is closed. It closes the doorway for the hacker to cause any harm. So thereby, with ethical hacking, we're trying to increase the security of the organization rather than cause any harm. Okay, so that is the main difference, guys, between hacking and ethical hacking. Where in hacking, we are trying to find, again, the hacker tries to take advantage of those vulnerabilities and tries to get information access. But in ethical hacking, you're trying to find those vulnerabilities, you're trying to report them back, to get them patched so that you can increase the security. Okay, so I hope these two definitions are clear, guys. Again, if you have any questions, or if you have any queries, or if you want me to repeat something, please do not hesitate to let me know. Okay, feel free to interrupt me at any certain point. Okay, so now, depending on these two definitions, guys, of hacking and ethical hacking, we can categorize the types of hackers. So basically, there's three types. There's someone known as a black hat hacker, a gray hat hacker, and a white hat hacker. A black hat hacker can also be termed as a cyber criminal who performs hacking for his own benefit, okay, or sometimes even just for fun. without asking for consent. On the other end of the scale, we have the white hat hacker. Okay, white hat hackers are also known as ethical hackers or penetration testers. These are the people who abide by the laws and policies of the organization, and they work hand in hand with them to find the vulnerabilities and report it back. They do that so that they can secure the infrastructure rather than causing any harm. Now, in between, there's a third category, also known as gray hat hackers. Now, from the name itself, you can figure out they have some qualities of the black hat hacker as well as the white hat hacker, hence a mixture. Okay, so like a black hat hacker, they don't ask for permission before finding the vulnerabilities, but once they find the vulnerability, they report it back to the organization. Okay, and that is done in return for a bounty. A bounty is nothing which benefits them. It could be a financial reward or a reputational reward, anything which benefits them or their careers. Right? Now, all these three types of hackers, whether it be a black hat hacker or a gray hat hacker or a white hat hacker, they perform hacking or ethical hacking in a certain number of steps. Right? And those steps collectively are called as hacking cycle or cyber kill chain. Okay. Now, let me list those steps out one by one so that we can have a clear picture of what the whole course is about. And then we'll briefly discuss about all of them. Okay, so you can ask your questions regarding those. Okay, so the first step that you perform in hacking cycle or cyber kill chain is known as information gathering. Now, certain organizations term this step in different names. They can also call it as reconnaissance or footprinting. Second step is known as scanning. It can also be referred to as enumeration. Third step is gaining access. Fourth step is maintaining access. And the last step is known as reporting or clearing traces. Now, the reason I've specifically mentioned "or" in the last step over here is because that is where it makes all the difference between the white hat hackers and black hat hackers. If you're a white hat hacker or an ethical hacker, you would perform the first 4 steps and then you would generate a report with all the vulnerabilities and the solutions for that and submit it to the organization. But if you're a black hat hacker, obviously you're not going to submit the vulnerabilities, but you're going to take advantage of them. You're going to attack the system, get access to the data, steal the data, and then remove all the evidences, which is nothing but clearing the traces or removing the footprints. Okay. So any questions or doubts, guys, up to this part before I proceed further into the technical part? Any queries or any confusion at the moment? Again, guys, I hope the audio and video is fine. Any issues with my audio or video?
Okay. What is this enumeration, sir?
Again, yeah, we'll be coming to that, guys. We'll discuss each of these steps one by one so you have a better understanding of what all of them are. Okay. At the moment, until now, here there are no questions, right? Because I guess there's some issues with the audio or video. Some people are exiting and rejoining again. Any issues, any technical issues with my audio or video at the moment? Okay, perfect.
Sir, your voice is breaking.
Oh, my voice is breaking. 1 second, guys. Okay, hello, 1 2 3, hello, 1 2 3.
Now it is
Guys,
okay.
it's okay, right? Right, perfect.
Clear, sir.
Right. Let's proceed now, guys, and understand each of these steps one by one so you have a clear picture of what they are. So the first step is information gathering. Again, as the name itself suggests, this step involves the hacker or the ethical hacker to gather as much data as possible about your penetration testing target. Okay. And all this information is gained passively. What I mean by passively is that you get this information from other third-party sources rather than contacting the organization directly. Okay. So for example, if I have a target like Wipro.com, about Wipro.com, I'll start searching online for all the material for it. Okay, all the data regarding Wipro.com servers. Okay. The main question is, what kind of data are we talking about over here? And this is the information that we require. So firstly, we try to figure out all the IP addresses and the range of IPs used by the Wipro's main servers or the secondary servers. Then the who is records to understand who is hosting Wipro.com and since when has it been hosting itself. Then the DNS records to understand what information is stored in their DNS servers, domain name servers. Then employee details such as their contact numbers, their email addresses, their usernames and passwords which are leaked, and their home addresses if possible, and so on. So then the domains and the subdomains of Wipro's website, and the operating system information, like what OSs are being used by the servers that are linked with Wipro.com. Now trust me, this guys, that all this information is available online to be gathered. So if I show you a very basic example, let's say if I wanted to find the DNS records for Wipro's organization, all I have to do is go to the browser, and in the browser I can search for a website called DNS Dumpster. This website is available for free for anyone to access. You can click on the first link, and over here you can just search for Wipro.com, and you can click on search, and now this is going to fetch and give you all the information about the Wipro's DNS servers. So first things first, it tells you where the Wipro servers are being located on the geolocation map. So it tells us that there are 4 DNS servers for Wipro. As you can see, these are their host names, exact host names, and these are the exact public IPs. These IP addresses are very important for a hacker or an ethical hacker to proceed with the further steps of scanning and enumeration. Okay. After that, we can see that there's the host record telling us what are the Wipro servers IP addresses and the subdomains IP addresses. So this is the main Wipro.com server, which is being hosted on the IP 66.7.148.227. Again, this information is very relevant for a hacker or an ethical hacker to proceed further. Further down, you can also see it also gives us the complete network topology. So this is how Wipro servers are connected to one another, and we have the whole network topology with the host names and their IP addresses. Okay, so this is basically whole Wipro's organization main server data. So again, this data is readily available, guys, for anyone to be accessed. That is not the vulnerability. Wipro themselves manually give out this data so that everyone around the world can access their servers. If this information is not given out, not many people will be able to access Wipro services and the website. Okay, the giving out of information is not wrong over here, but not checking if the information that you're giving is secure or not is the vulnerability. Okay, so we have to see that whatever Wipro is disclosing, all these servers one by one are completely secure. Okay, after information, similarly, when we talk about enumeration, that is about gathering as much information as possible about all the services that are running on the target organization. So in a Wipro's organization, you might have DNS servers, DHCP servers, SNMP servers, Telnet servers, SSH servers. These are the multiple servers, multiple web servers, or multiple other organizational servers. So about each of that server, you need to get information, like what version of services are they running and what applications are they running. So enumeration is trying to gather information about all the servers one by one by making active connections with them. Okay, so you're directly going to ping those servers and you try to fetch the information from them directly rather than contacting any third-party organization. Now, when we talk about scanning or enumeration, there are 3 types of them. There's something known as network scanning, then port scanning, and then finally vulnerability scanning. In network scanning, we can try to figure out on the target network what all devices are active. Okay, so what operating systems are they using, what servers are available, what client operating systems are there. So trying to understand what all devices are they using, IDS, IPS, routers, switches, what all devices are there. On those devices, then you perform port scanning. Port scanning is where you try to figure out what ports are open, and on those ports, what services are there running. Okay, what applications are there running. Then finally, you perform vulnerability scanning to figure out on those services, are there any vulnerabilities? Are there any weaknesses that you can attack on? So during this phase, we'll be using 2 important tools called Nmap and Nessus. So if I just search for enable Nessus over here, this is the tool that is used in organizations as well. So if I click on the first link, as you can see, this is Nessus Professional. If I click on buy, it's around $4,000 for 1 year subscription. Okay, quite an expensive tool, and this is the same tool that is used in real-time scenarios. So we'll be working on the same tool in our classes as well. We'll try to understand how to use this tool and how to run or perform vulnerability scanning. The reason why I'm showing you all this is just to make you understand that we will be using real-time scenario tools. Okay, whatever is used in organizations at the moment, we are up to date with those tools. Okay, after if I show you example, as you can see, I have the Nessus installed on my system over here. I'll show you how you can install on your system as well, and you can see you can perform various types of scans And once you scan a system, it shows all the vulnerabilities one by one. The critical vulnerabilities or medium vulnerabilities, information-based vulnerabilities. Again, don't get too confused, guys. We'll again learn how to understand this report. What are these vulnerabilities? What are these different levels of vulnerabilities? We'll understand all that. Okay. But basically, Nessus is a tool which can perform network scanning or port scanning and try to understand what vulnerabilities are there on each and every system. So this is an automated tool. We'll learn how to perform automated testing and get a report from it. Once you get a report, you need to perform manual testing also. Okay. And that is nothing but our next phase, which is gaining access. Okay. So this is a huge concept. It covers a vast variety of topics, guys. We'll discuss them one by one. Okay, so the first topic that we'll be learning in gaining access is system hacking. So in system hacking, we'll understand how we can crack or bypass a Windows operating system password. So if you have Windows 7 or Windows 8 or Windows 10 or Windows 11, does not matter. Okay, whatever operating system you have, how do we crack that operating system? How do we get the information about their passwords? If you are unable to get the passwords, how can we bypass authentication and get access to the internal files is what we learn in system hacking. After that comes malware attacks. Malwares are nothing but, in short, malicious softwares. So we'll practically learn how to create each of these malwares, whether it be viruses or worms or trojans, spyware, whatever it be. We'll understand how malwares are generated and how we can protect our system from malwares. Or if there is a malware already installed, how can we detect that malware and prevent it from running further or causing any further harm. Okay. Then there's a bonus topic called malware advanced. This is again not included in the CH curriculum. We have just added it as a bonus topic for students to have better understanding about malwares. In this, we'll be sharing the resources to understand how you can create your own malwares by using Python programming. So just in case if you know Python, well and good. If not, also not an issue. We'll be sharing the resources as extra material to understand. So if you are interested in malware development also, this is a very important bonus topic for you. After that comes network penetration testing. In this, we'll learn all the common network attacks. So in a network, you have multiple, again, devices, IDS, IPS, multiple different types of servers, like mail server or DNS servers, DHCP servers, SNMP servers, and so on. So we'll understand how to check for vulnerabilities on each of these servers. Along with that, we can perform a few attacks as well. Sniffing attack, man-in-the-middle attack, denial of service attack, or distributed denial of service attacks, DDoS. Okay, and hacking Wi-Fi routers, trying to crack the password of Wi-Fi routers and getting access to those routers. All this comes under network penetration testing. Okay, all the common attacks that we can perform in a local network. After that comes social engineering, where we learn how hackers create fake websites. Okay, whether it be Facebook.com, Instagram.com, Twitter.com, or Flipkart.com. How are hackers creating fake login pages? And from those fake login pages, how are they getting the passwords, credentials? So we learn what phishing attacks are, what are the other social engineering attacks through which hackers manipulate victims into getting their passwords. Okay. So we'll learn all that, and we'll also understand how to prevent these attacks, how to distinguish between a fake page and an original page, and so. After that, we have web application pen testing. In this, we learn all the common vulnerabilities that exist on websites. So again, websites also have some weaknesses, okay, on which attackers can exploit and try to get access to the internal web server data or the internal database data, and so on. So to list out a few, there's vulnerabilities such as SQL injection, cross-site scripting, broken authentication, file upload vulnerability. Now, might sound very technical, guys, but these are the weaknesses using which hackers can get access to your information, to your passwords and usernames. Okay. After that, finally comes hacking mobile phones, where we learn how we can hack an Android phone and get access to that Android phone remotely. After gaining access is done, then we have maintaining access and maintaining access, reporting and clearing traces, where we learn how we can maintain persistent connections. So if the target is restarting his system or shutting it down and starting after a very long time, how do we get access to that data? How do we still stay connected to the victim machine? Is what we learn in maintaining access. After that comes reporting or clearing traces, where I'll show you how you can generate a report and submit to your client or submit to your organization, or how do you remove the evidences. So this course is designed in such a way where we learn both the perspectives of a black hat hacker as well as a white hat hacker. Okay. And it's designed in a completely practical way No theoretical nonsense. Every day we'll have a class for 1 hour, where the first 20 minutes we'll discuss the theoretical part, understanding what that attack is or how to prevent that attack. And then the remaining 40 minutes we'll discuss the practical part of it, okay, with real-time scenario tools. To list out a few tools, we'll be using this tool such as Nessus, we'll be using Nmap, we'll be using Burpsuit, we'll be using the whole main Kali operating system, okay, which I have over here, as you can see. Okay. Before that, let me show the course content as well, guys, very quickly. So yeah, this is over here, the course content for the whole course. Okay, and the course is for a duration of 35 days, where we learn from the very basics itself. So most of the students ask this as a question, like, sir, are there any prerequisites? Do we need to learn something extra therapy? No, this course is designed in class from Monday to Friday onwards for every day for 1 hour. Okay, and the timings will be same. We'll have timings at 8 p.m. Every class will be recorded, and you'll be getting the recordings as well online, which we will have permanent access to. So just in case if you're missing out any class, you can access the recordings whenever you want. Okay. If needed, we can take backup classes as well on Saturdays and Sundays, just in case if there's a lot of absence. Okay. So yeah, that's that, guys. A quick introduction on what the course is and how long the duration of the course is. If you have any questions, you can shoot at me right now. Please let me know, guys. Any queries? Anything that you want me to repeat or so?
Can you hear me?
Hello.
Yeah. Hi.
Sir, why we use that websites that you show before this PPT?
Sorry, Yogesh, I didn't get your question. Can you please repeat?
Sir, we as you said that we use some websites for ethical hacking. So that website that you opened before this PPT, I'm asking about that website.
The DNS dumpster website, as you can see, this is for information gathering, trying to gather information about any certain client. So before we perform hacking, it's very necessary that we know all the data about that organization or the data about that target. So in order to get that data, we have to visit these third-party websites. Okay. Sometimes your organization might not give you that data sufficient for us. Okay. That is why we need to gather that information from other third-party sources, websites like DNS dumpster and so on. Okay. The more the data you have, the more possibilities you have to attack the system. Okay. The more attack vectors you can find or possible paths you can find to attack the system. Okay. So that is why it is necessary to access these websites and get the data about our target from these websites.
Okay, so understood.
Right. Any other questions, guys?
Sir, which type of penetration testing we are going to learn here?
Again, CEH is a very comprehensive course, guys. We're not going to be going into system hacking or Android pen testing. We'll be covering the basics of all of them. This is a course designed for people who are completely new to cybersecurity, and we can't leave out any endpoint. So we need to understand how to perform network security testing. We need to perform web security testing, Android security testing as well, and Windows or Linux security testing as well. So we'll be learning all of them one by one. Okay, we'll be covering each and every endpoint that is left, as you can see over here in the course content. Okay, but as I've mentioned, we won't be going in depth of all of them. We'll learn how to check for security vulnerabilities, basic vulnerabilities, and how to remediate them, how to remove those vulnerabilities. Okay, if you want to learn about any advanced after CEX is done, then you can go with advanced courses such as web application pen testing for bug bounty. This course is specifically designed only for website security testing. So in this, we'll be going with OWASP top 10. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Right. Any other questions, guys?
No, sir.
Right. Okay.
After
So,
course completion, certification provided.
yes, if anyone is interested in writing the CEH certification as well, we provide support for that also. There's complete pass guarantee. So I usually handle the certifications myself. So if you're planning on writing a certification,
So this is job guarantee.
This is what? Sorry.
Job guarantees.
Sorry, I didn't get you guys. Can you please repeat that? Hello.
After this course, after this course, his job is?
He's asking
Oh
a
yeah,
placement
again,
assistance.
job assistance. Again, guys, at Durgasoft, we're not going to be providing any confirm guarantee that we'll be placing you in an organization, but we'll be sharing your resume once you forward it to our consultancies. Okay. So in the price of 8,000 rupees, we are only including the course content with the course completion certificate. And if you're planning on writing a certification, we will give you certification support as well. Okay. So at that price of 8,000 rupees, we are not in contact with the complete job placement facility, but we do have few consultancies where we can give you your resumes too. Okay, once you're done with the resume preparation, I'll be helping you out in understanding how to create a resume as well, depending on a cybersecurity profile. I'll be also sharing the common interview questions, and I have a few references as well to whom I can forward your resumes. Okay, and again, we will be giving you the interview calls, and you can start attending interviews over there. Okay, again, it depends on your skill set and your practice on how well you do the interview. So we don't guarantee anything, but we will definitely show you where you can start applying. If it's necessary, I can just give you one source now itself. You can, after your course is done, this is the common website that I usually suggest for students, jobs.null.community. This is a website only specifically for cybersecurity job roles. Okay, nothing else. As you can see, null jobs. This is the website. Okay, and these are all the different domains, and you can start searching over here. So if you're a complete fresher, just click on freshers or internships. And these are, so at the moment, these are the available placements. Okay. So for internships, okay, if you're not into internships, you want a specific job role, you can start applying for VAPT, vulnerability assessment and pen testing. These are the ones at the moment for cybersecurity. After the course is done, you can start applying over here also. So this is one website that I suggest to most of the students once the course is done, so start applying for jobs. Okay. So again, how well you do, it depends on your skill set and your practicing, guys. Okay, and this website is specifically only for cybersecurity jobs, nothing else. Okay, any other questions, guys?
No, sir. Thank you.
Right. Again, if you so this is only for people who are completely new to it, who have not attended the previous demo sessions. So if you have already attended the demo session, guys, you can join back on Monday itself directly.
Okay, and the timing will be same at 8 p.m.
Same time, 8 o'clock in the night.
Okay, thank you.
Sure. Okay, guys, so let's get started without any further ado. Before I get started, a quick formal introduction on my end. My name is Mohammed Shoaib. I'm a cybersecurity trainer certified from EC Council. EC Council is the leading organization for cybersecurity domain certifications. Okay, and one of the courses that it provides for people who are completely new to this domain is Certified Ethical Hacking version 11. This is the latest version of the course that is running at the moment, and this is a course designed in such a way for people who are completely new to this domain. So if you have no knowledge about what cybersecurity is or what hacking or ethical hacking is, this is the course to get started with. Okay, so before I proceed further, this is a common question that I usually ask all the students just to understand their perspective on this topic. So again, guys, let's keep this session a bit interactive and fun. So my first question to you is to understand what your perspective is on hacking. So again, not asking for exact definitive answers, guys, but just to understand your view on it. Okay, so whatever comes to your mind, please do let me know. In your terms, what do you think hacking is? Anyone? There's Biswajit, there's Maman, Rakesh, who else? Shafiuddin, Shiva.
Hello?
Yeah, Biswajit, I can hear you.
Sir, actually, according to me, hacking means to hack the information of organization or any systems.
Right, yeah, hacking information or getting access to the information of organized file. Okay, and that is why, in simple terms, they are also known as bug bounty hunters. They find bugs in return for a bounty. Okay, so they are hunting for bugs. Okay, now all these three types of hackers, whether we take black hat hackers, gray hat hackers, or white hat hackers, they perform hacking or ethical hacking in a certain number of steps. Okay, and they follow a procedure, a systematic procedure. That systematic procedure is known in simple terms as hacking cycle or cyber kill chain. Okay, Various organizations categorize these steps into various numbers, but if I had to summarize it up, there are 5 important steps in hacking cycle or cyber kill chain. Whether you take a black hat hacker or a white hat hacker or any kind of a hacker, he needs to follow the same procedures as well. Okay. Now let me list them out first, and then we'll discuss in detail about each of them, so you have a clear picture of what the whole course is about. Okay. So the first step is known as information gathering. It can sometimes also be referred to as reconnaissance or footprinting. So they are one and the same term, guys. Don't get confused. Various organizations use various terminologies. But whether you hear information gathering or reconnaissance of as well, the whole duration of the course, every single day we'll take a 1-hour class, and each class will be recorded and uploaded to the Google Drive. So that just in case if you're missing out, if you're absent for a session, whenever you want to.
Okay, sir. Actually, from the starting, you told about hacking and ethical hacking. So, could you please briefly tell me? Hacking means like you're hacking the particular some credential information, like something personal information you are hacking. But ethical hacking was that.
Great, guys. If you want me to repeat something, I will definitely do.
Sir,
yeah.
Sir, please repeat that first part.
Which one?
Like before gaining access, you told us some gathering information. Like I understood that what if their system in vulnerability in the system, so hackers are easily hack that system. So I understood somehow.
Oh yeah, in information gathering again, Biswajit, as I've mentioned, we try to gather information from other third-party websites. So there's websites like DNS Dumpster, Hunter.io. So from other third-party sites, we gather information about the target. After that, then we perform scanning. So we directly get access to target servers or whatever target it is, whether it is Wipro.com or so and so. Okay. And in their target organization, we perform the scanning to figure out in their network what devices have what vulnerabilities. So in my local network, I have scanned for 3 devices. And in each of these devices, I can see the weaknesses on each system. Okay. Tells you what the weakness is. Okay, if there's an unsupported OS, what is the solution to remove that vulnerability, and what can be performed with that vulnerability. So it's get access to the systems. Okay, once we perform the scanning, once we know that these are the vulnerabilities on which you can attack on, next part is nothing but to attack directly, which is nothing but penetration testing. So in this, as I've mentioned, there's a huge set of topics. Okay, so let me discuss them one by one. So first topic that we'll be discussing is system hacking. So in system hacking, we learn how we can hack or crack or bypass a Windows operating system password. So whether it be Windows 7 or Windows 8 or Windows 10 or Windows 11, doesn't matter. How do we crack or how do we bypass the password is what we learn in system hacking. So if your system is password protected, how can you crack and understand what the password is in clear text? Or if you're unable to crack it, if it is too tough to crack, how can you bypass that password and still get access to the internal files is what we learn in system hacking. After that comes malware attacks. Malware is in simple terms are nothing but malicious softwares, and we'll practically know how to create each of these malwares. So people think that viruses are on the only malicious software available on internet, but that's a misconception. We have multiple malicious softwares. We have viruses, we have worms, trojans, backdoors, spyware, rootkit, whatnot. There's tons and tons of malwares, and there's thousands and thousands of malwares added every single day. So we'll practically learn how to create each of these malwares and how to prevent our system from getting attacked by these malwares, or how to detect for malwares on our system. Then comes network penetration testing. Okay. In network pen testing, we learn all the common network vulnerabilities. Okay. So in an organization, in a local network, there are multiple services. There's DNS service, Telnet service, SMTP service, DHCP service. These are all the services or protocols used in a common organization. So we learn how to test for weaknesses on each of these servers. And after that, we'll also learn how to perform network attacks like sniffing attack, man-in-the-middle attack, DOS attacks, or hacking Wi-Fi routers and cracking Wi-Fi router passwords. All this comes under network pen testing. Then comes social engineering, where we learn how to crack passwords from websites. Okay, so how do hackers make fake login pages, Facebook page, Instagram page, or a Flipkart login page, bank login pages? How do hackers get your passwords from these pages? Okay, how can they create fake login pages and send them to the victims and perform phishing attacks? All this comes under social engineering. Then finally comes web application pen testing, where we learn all the common website weaknesses. Okay, Is this useful for SOC analyst role? Yeah, Shafiuddin, we'll be discussing a very basic tool called Splunk as well. That is very important for your SOC analysis role. Okay, SOC is nothing but Security Operations Center, guys, just in case if anyone is confused. Okay, in SOC job roles, we usually see how to monitor and detect threats. Okay, threats are nothing but attacks. Okay, so for that, we'll be discussing a very basic tool, a very important tool actually, but the very common tool used in SOC, which is Splunk. So this course is helpful for that as well. Shafiuddin. Okay, now after that, coming back to our topic, guys, as I've mentioned, we'll be discussing web application vulnerabilities, where we learn all the common website weaknesses. Now, again, this might sound a bit technical, guys, okay, but these are a few common weaknesses that exist, such as SQL injection, cross-site scripting, broken authentication, file upload vulnerability, and so on. So these are the weaknesses that hackers use to get access to the web server, okay, or the databases in the backend. Okay. After that, we have hacking mobile phones, where we learn how to hack or crack an Android application phone. Okay, so how do we use Trojan attacks and get access to the Android phone remotely? Okay, after this is done, then we have two small topics, which are maintaining access and reporting or clearing traces. So this is the most important concept, guys, gaining access. After that, we need to know how to maintain persistent connections. So how do hackers maintain a connection even if the system restarts? Okay, is what is known as maintaining persistent connections. After that, we have reporting or clearing traces, where we'll see how to generate a report and submit to the organization. Or if you're a black hat hacker, how do they remove all the evidences? How do they clear the traces? Okay. Now, since not everyone is from a technical background or might not be from a technical background, we will discuss a few prerequisites as well. Okay. So the course is designed in such a way where you don't have to learn anything separately from outside. So if this is in a way to even a 10th standard student to understand this course in a simple and sufficient manner. Okay, so before we dive into all the advanced concepts, we'll be discussing these 4 prerequisites or 4 to 5 prerequisites. So first we'll learn basically what ethical hacking is, or how is it different from hacking. Then we learn virtualization. Okay. The reason why we need to learn about virtualization is because we'll be using a tool called VMware. So as you can see on my desktop, this is my Windows 11 operating system. And on this, I have my VMware application. Okay, this VMware allows me to run multiple operating systems on one single machine. Okay, so as you can see, I can run my Kali OS, I can run my Windows 7 OS, Ubuntu OS, and so on and so. Okay, the reason why we need virtualization is because we need to run something known as Kali Linux. This is a Linux operating system, guys. Okay, and this is very important for us because this comes pre-installed with all the penetration testing tools. Okay, for hacking tools or ethical hacking tools. As you can see over here, there's information gathering tools, there's web application testing tools, there's password attacking tools, Wi-Fi attacking tools, and so on. So these are the tools that specifically come only with Linux OS. Okay, they're not available in your Windows operating system. So that is why we need to know how to install this operating system and how to use this out. Okay, again, one good thing is this is completely free and open source. Anyone can download this operating system from the official website kali.org. Kali.org. Okay, so how to download this and how to install this is what we learn in the virtualization class. After that is done, then we will go with basic Linux and Windows commands. So as I've mentioned, Kali is a Linux OS. So we need to understand how to use a Linux operating system. What are the basic commands in Linux and how is it different from Windows operating system? After that, we learn basic Windows server configuration, how to configure a DNS server, how to configure a web server in Linux, in Windows OS. Okay, and after all that is done, then we go with the important concepts. Okay, information gathering, scanning, enumeration, then gaining access, maintaining access, all that comes after that. Okay, so until these concepts are done, then you'll be ready for all the advanced concepts. So this is designed in such a way where you don't have to learn anything separately from anywhere else. Okay, so after that, again, there's a few bonus concepts as well, guys, such as cryptography, reverse engineering, IoT, cloud security, Splunk. So these are not included in other institutes. Okay, these are a few concepts that we have specifically designed in such a way so that you can proceed further and learn advanced courses as well if you're interested. Okay, so yeah, that's that, guys. Again, one last thing, the whole course is for a duration of 1 month, where you'll have classes from Monday to Friday every day for 1 hour. Okay, and every class will be recorded and it will be uploaded to Google Drive. So just in case if you're missing out any classes, you can access the recordings as well. Okay, so yeah, that's that, guys. Any questions on your end? Yeah, Biswajit, you were asking me one question, asking about the job roles, I guess. So once you're done with the course, you can start applying for job roles like SOC analyst vulnerability assessment tester, or penetration tester, or again security engineer, and so and so. Okay, so these are the job roles that you can apply for once you're done with the course.
Actually, I have taken this course I was just learning this course just to get a job in that ethical hacking, like information security and in any IT company. So actually, sir, as I came to know that, sir, is there any like coding algorithm required to just like to do such kind of activity in
Good
ethical
question.
hacking?
Great question. This is a coding level language knowledge at all. Okay, so coding or development knowledge is not at all necessary. Wherever it is, we will be discussing that basic necessity of it. Okay, so there are certain topics where we have a topic called malwares. So in this, we learn how to create malwares. Okay, so in that one topic, will require basic coding language knowledge. But again, that itself, I will myself be teaching it. Okay, so you don't need to learn anything separately from anywhere else. And other than that, this one topic malware, we won't be using coding language at all anywhere.
Mhm. So Ajay, so actually I am doing job in Linux support, like technical support.
That's great. This is going to be a lot easier for you then.
Mm. So actually that's why I want.
Okay, so into your resume actually. Okay, so it's better to have certification, but if you're not having certification, just to increase or broaden your skill set, learn an extra course after CH in cybersecurity itself. Okay, there's many streams. Okay, we provide web application security as well, testing. So you can join this course as well, just in case if you're not doing a certification. Okay.
Okay. So after that, web application security is another course.
Yes.
Okay. So in this syllabus, sir, what we will learn totally overally? What we learn? How much we can work in a company?
Again, as I've mentioned, CH is the foundational course. So you'll be learning about all the endpoints. So you won't be focusing on one of them, but all the comprehensively all endpoints. So we'll learn network security also. We'll learn wireless security also. We'll learn Windows and Linux hacking also. We'll learn Android security also. And we'll learn web application security also. But in CH, one thing is you are going to be like a jack of all trades, master of none. So you're not going in deep. You're not specializing in any one of the fields. You're learning about all the fields. After that, you can choose one specialization and you can focus on that. You can either go towards web security or cloud security or network security. Depends on your interest.
Okay. Understood, sir. Then
right.
that will the final and long-term career.
Long-term, yes. Okay. To get started first, usually in cybersecurity, you usually get monitoring job roles for a few months. Okay. After that, then you can go into deeper course. Mamun, are you going to teach all security courses? Yeah, I'm the same tutor, Mamun. So after CH is done, if you're planning on going with cloud security or web application security, we provide those as well. At the moment, mobile and network is not included, but just in case, since there's a huge boom, there's a huge requirement for web application. So that also I provide.
Okay.
You can go with 1 year experience, Shafiq, not more than that with CEH. But if you add a few more courses after that, like after CH, if you do web application and also, you can add a couple years experience, like 2 or 3 years of experience as well. Okay, because you need to know more tools with such years, that huge years of experience. They will ask you what tools you have worked on. Okay, so it's better you have a few knowledge on those tools. So with more the courses, you get more experience with different tools.
Okay, so will you please help with practically all the things?
Again, the whole course. Oh, is it back-to-back training? Yeah, Mamun. Again, after the CH is done, I usually take separate classes for web application students as well who are interested to join that. Okay, so that will be a back-to-back session directly. Again, yeah, coming back to you, Biswajit, you were asking me something. What was the question again? I forgot.
No, actually, I was asking, sir, what, sir? Forget. Anyway.
I forgot as well, but let me try to recollect. Does anyone else remember, right, guys, what Biswajit was asking? Practical, yeah, good question. So again, the whole course is designed in such a way where it is 20-40 ratio, guys. So out of all the 60 minutes that we have every single day, the first 15 to 20 minutes will discuss the theoretical part. The remaining 40 minutes will discuss the practical part itself with real-time scenario examples. I'm not going to be boring you with theoretical knowledge. Only in the demo class and only in the first few introductory classes we'll discuss theoretical concepts. Once we start from the information gathering, everything is going to be completely practical based. Okay, with
Sir,
tools
sir,
that I used
sir,
in real-time scenario.
are you teaching cloud security?
Yes, I teach cloud security as well, Biswajit. Okay, but again, as I've mentioned, that is usually taken up after CH is done. Okay, so we'll discuss on AWS security and again, mostly on AWS itself.
Actually, I wanna make my career into that like cloud security part. That's why I was thinking how much practical you will teach here, and how much we can be skilled enough in this course, so that we can be confident enough while attending the interview. So, will you please discuss on about the some like mock interview questions and resume building?
Definitely, I will help you. I will send you sample resumes as well to understand how to create a resume for a cyber security profile. Okay, and along with that, I'll also share the commonly asked in interview questions. So I have a PDF document prepared for that specifically, which I share with all the students after the course is done for all the cyber security related interview questions. Okay, so I'll be
So,
sharing all that as well.
okay, sir. No, because I have planned after completion of this course, I have planned to move on cloud security by practicing those questions and all the practical things.
Definitely. Again, if necessary, I'll be sharing the resources as well, Biswajit, separately for you regarding your
Okay,
cloud security content. Okay. So
okay,
if you're planning on
okay,
doing a course after CS is done, then you can contact me for that. We can do that course separately.
okay, sir.
Okay, it's
Thank you.
not included with Durga Soft at the moment, but again, yeah,
Okay, sir.
sure. Any other questions, guys, at the moment? Okay, assuming there's no questions, guys, I'll be ending the session over here. And yeah, that was great interacting with you guys all, Biswajit, especially with you because you have asked a lot of questions. So I hope everything is clear and you have no more unresolved queries.
Okay,
And
now
yeah,
I understood. I will follow that like recording also. If I got any doubts and demo sessions, I will go. I will ask you in the next class.
definitely, sure, definitely. Again, guys, if necessary, here's my contact number as well, 76800697768. If you have any technical queries, you can contact me over here. If you have any queries, what other technology we should know? Again, Mohammed, as I've mentioned, it's better to have Linux knowledge, Linux commands knowledge, and how to use a Linux operating system, and basic networking knowledge. What are IP addresses, what are IPv4, what are IPv6 addresses? If you do not know these also, as I've mentioned, all these are included in the course itself. So these are the prerequisites which are required. But again, I have included them in the course just in case if you're not familiar with them. Okay. So there's no prerequisite for joining the course. All you need is a good laptop to run the practicals. Okay. Minimum requirement would be at least an i3 processor, oldest to oldest i3 processor, and minimum to minimum 6 GB or 4 GB RAM. If you have 8 GB, that is recommendable. Okay. Recommended. But if you have minimum 4, it might hang a bit, but it will work. Okay. So one important requirement is you need a laptop or a device for practicing because we have a lot of practicals in the course. Okay. So other than that, nothing else is required. Okay. Just interested mindset and a device to practice on. Those are the only two requirements for this course. Nothing more.
Okay.
All right. So yeah, that's it, guys. Nothing further for the session today. If you're interested to join the course, you can join this from Monday. We'll be having the first class on Monday for networking concepts. Okay. And after that, yeah, tomorrow as well, there's another demo session. So just in case if anyone is planning to join a demo again, you can join it tomorrow at the same time. If not, we'll be starting the course from Monday itself directly.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay, guys. Good day. Thank you for joining the session. It was great interacting with you. And I'll see you soon, guys. Bye-bye. Have a good day.
Thank you, sir. Good night.
Thank you, guys. Good night. Guys, can you see the screen now?
Yeah, I can see you now.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
It's visible.
Somat.
Yes, sir, it's visible.
Right, perfect. Thanks. Okay, how many people are there? Vikiran, Rakesh, Biswajit, Prashant, Shiva, Somat. Okay, perfect. Okay, guys, let's get started with the session without any further ado. I am already a bit delayed in starting the session, so sorry for that, guys. I was stuck in a work. There was an issue with a security vulnerability actually with one of the organizations, so I was stuck with that. But anyways, let's get started with our class today. With our first session today will be on basic networking concepts. Before I get started, any issue with my audio or video? Anyone? Is everything fine? Can I proceed with
Yes,
the
sir.
class?
No, actually, we are getting some like noise.
A kind
Oh,
of
there's some
issue.
background.
Yeah,
Yes,
they're
we can call it
not
as a kind of issue.
not clear, sir.
1 second. Thank you. 1 second. I'll just change my microphone. Just give me a second for that.
Yes, yes.
Okay. How does it sound now, guys?
It is audible now.
Yes, now it is
It's
clear.
audible. Background disturbance, no kind of issues.
Yes, yes.
Perfect, perfect, perfect. Okay, guys. So let's get started without any further ado. So as I've mentioned, in today's class, we'll be going with basic networking concepts. We'll discuss what IPv4 addresses are. Okay. So before diving into IPv4 addresses, let's try to understand what a network is and what a host is. Now, these are very two simple words that you keep coming across every single day. Okay. A host is nothing but an information device. Okay. Any information device which is capable of communicating with other devices is known as a host. Okay. It could be a mobile phone, it could be a router, it could be a laptop, a personal computer, or any other device, an information device, okay, which is capable of communicating with other devices. Now, when you have such devices connected to each other, okay, which can communicate with one another, that forms a network. Okay, so a network is a collection of hosts which can communicate with each other and transmit data. Now, just like how we humans communicate with one another, we have our respective names. Okay, I can address you by your name. You can call me by mine. Okay, and we can communicate with one another. We have our unique identities. Okay. Similarly, these information devices as well have their unique identities. Okay. So when they communicate from one device, when it wants to send packet to another device, it has a unique address for each device. Okay. And on that address, they communicate with one another. And that address is known as the IP address, guys. Internet Protocol. This was built by the US military late in the 1950s or 1960s. Okay. And there was IP version 1, IP version 2, IP version 3. All these were unsuccessful attempts. They were you could say experimental. What successfully worked out was the IP version 4. And we are still using that in today's world also. IP version 4 in simple terms is Internet Protocol version 4. Okay, and that is what we'll be discussing about in today's class. Okay. Anyone here who already knows about IPv4 addresses and who's familiar with these networking concepts?
No, sir.
Anyone?
I'm not familiar, but I know some like whenever I was doing programming, networking, college days. So since the networking, I know how to join the socket networking programming. I know some networking IP address, and also I've studied through.
IP addresses are nothing but acting as an identity for each device. Just like how we have our names, by mine, I can call you by yours. Similarly, devices communicate with one another depending on IP address. Okay. Now, how does this IP address look like? Okay. Our names have alphabets in them: SHOAIB, SIVA, Shiva, and so and so. But IP addresses are completely numeric based. Okay. Specifically IP 101010. Any questions for anyone? Again, guys, if you have any questions or doubts, please feel free to raise your hand or let me know. You can interrupt me at any certain point. Okay, no issues at all. If you want me to repeat a concept also, please do let me know. I will repeat it as many times as you want. Okay. So guys, any questions up to this part? How we have converted this binary number to a decimal number? Shiva, Sujata, Bharati, Tripti, Vidyadhar. Who else is there? Biswajit, Chaudhary, Prasad.
Hello.
Yeah. Biswajit.
Sir, you spoke about binary to decimal conversion. Sorry, decimal to binary conversion. Am I right?
No, binary to decimal. I've converted
binary.
this number 10101010 to
So
decimal number 170.
All the numbers was converted into binary as a decimal. All the binary number is converted into decimal 170.
Right. This specific number 10101010. Okay. How did we do that? We wrote to remember. Okay. Now once this octet has reached the maximum value, there comes the rule number 2. Only after the rightmost octet has been completely filled, then go to the left value. Okay. And after going to the left value, reset the rightmost value back to 0. Okay. What I mean by that is now this is completely filled. So now this left value 0 changes to 1. Okay. And the rightmost value 255 again resets back to 0. Okay. So next IP after 000255, next is 0010. Now